welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Papergoy, and today's going to be a fun day. It's a warm day, don't even need jackets, which is a rarity in upstate New York in April. It's first day of the public market, the local flea market, so kind of excited about that. And on top of that all, it's the bottle show. First time they've had that since 2019. So believe it or not, the bottle show does have a lot of paper. They advertise trade cards, things like that on their website. So really looking forward to today. Hopefully you're watching this video, which means it was a really good haul video. We'll see what's out there. All the dealers have had a fair amount of time to accumulate stuff over the winter time to hit the various sales and pick up the things to be selling off. So the flea market should be fun. 2 years for the bottle show, that should be a lot of fun. A lot of traffic out there today. Sounds like everybody's heading on down there, so we better get going before all the good stuff's gone. So here we are driving on into here, and it looked like it was going to be absolutely crowded at first as far as customers go, because it's almost never this crowded with this many cars, especially midway through the summer. There's sometimes you can park like second or third up in a row. We had to park all the way back here, and then I pray that the brakes work. Whoa, that was a close one over there. That's a rare view of Mrs. Papergoy right there as well. So we're going to head on into the sale here, walking around. It really was packed. There were even dealers set up on the outside, which rarely happens. Had some records, had a little bit of everything going on over at the place. The one thing that I hate about these kind of things is when you get caught up in a crowd of people and then you're like stuck behind them and they like stop right in the middle of somebody's booth. And that was happening regularly, which I guess is a good thing as far as the vendors are concerned, but not so good when you're just trying to rush through and buy things. And when I say rush through, I've been doing this long enough that there's a lot of dealers I don't even bother looking at beyond. You know, you've got the dealers that sell the cheap stuff from China and all those sort of people. And I don't do anything at all with that stuff because, you know, that's all home goods and all that. But kind of walking through was a good flea market. I will say that. There will be a video coming up tomorrow that shows the haul of what I got with the talking about what it is. There you kind of get a more of a view from the outside of it. And all of the various dealers set up over there. Prices were right, and you know, we got clothes. People did clothes. People thrift anything. You can pretty much get it down over here. We're going to be coming up real quick on a very, very handsome dealer picking some stuff. And I've actually dealt with this dealer before. He actually more or less gives away any of his magazines. He wants 50 cents a piece, and I didn't know that price at first. I kind of thought he wanted not a lot, and sure enough. But that's a nice-looking Crawdaddy magazine with Paul McCartney on the cover. Some Mad Magazines people and the like. So overall, good dealer, good stuff, good day. And we're going to head off to the bottle show now. And here we are. The bottle show is held annually at Roberts Wesleyan College or University. I'm not sure which one it is. Up here in Rochester, New York. Beautiful campus, as you can see. And I love the campus so much that I decided to make a wrong turn and go into the wrong area. Have been here before. And all the buildings kind of start looking the same. And I said, oops, made the wrong turn there. So we got a nice little view here. Hopefully Roberts Wesleyan will help sponsor me in the future because it's a beautiful campus, as you can see. There we are. A good clue when you see a giant sign that says bottle show with a arrow pointing into a parking lot. That's probably where you actually do want to go. Have been here in the past, and parking was absolutely atrocious in the past. This year, however, was actually able to find some parking spots, so that's really good. Do have to pay $5 admission in order to get in, and as you see, it's kind of overwhelming, and those people bought everything that I wanted as they walked on by. So you walk on in here, and there's a lot of bottles, which is the first thing that you're greeted with, and always on the right-hand side, which we'll show in a moment right there, they have a little exhibit that explains bottle collecting and all that kind of thing and shows some examples of old bottles. So it's kind of interesting. There's a lot of beer memorabilia and all that sort of thing. And I never used to come to this show because people had always mentioned to me I should go to it, I should go to it. And all I ever heard was the bottle part of the bottle show. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll get right on it. But sure enough, there are a lot of old books. Did pass up on that Grand Prix program. It's from Watkins Glen. That's one of those items which you don't want to buy locally because they wanted $20 on it. Those sell online for about $20. So those are things that over years and years and years, I've figured out people ask really far too close to value. In fact, he's asking value on it. So I don't buy things like that there. There's a nice photograph for the photograph collectors. I did not buy that because I don't know very much at all about photographs, as can always be seen through the videos. And Random Neighborhood Kid is working the camera. Shout out to him. We got an Action Comics #1 there. I should have picked that up. With $100 bills just lying all over the place, which actually aren't really $100 bills. They're advertising. You got postcard dealers there. You've got a pile of paper here that I'm sure a good friend of the channel, Don the Auction Professor, he would be doing very, very well at this pile here. I ended up not buying anything because it's just really not up my Strasse, so I did not purchase stuff like that. I did look at something to see what the identification was on it, but I did not buy it. But it is another one of these shows that's overwhelming, and you got all sorts of dealers. You do get a lot of really neat things, and even on the dealers that are priced up higher than what I can afford to buy in order to make money, I do like to look because, I paid $5 to get in, and you can get yourself a nice little education. And then, of course, you can always find a Life magazine with JFK, which is probably one of the rarest things out there. Don't know a lot about sheet music, but I saw this person who had sheet music, and then I saw they wanted $5 a piece on it. And I'm like, yeah, not going to happen. Did do a quick enough look through, though, in case anything jumped out at me. And then we put it down and skedaddled. Did not want that kind of thing. This probably has 4 aisles worth of dealers. Somewhere in that ballpark. 4 aisles of dealers. A lot of good stuff throughout. I was able to pick 2 or 3 dealers that I ended up buying stuff from, and I did fairly well at the show. This was another dealer. I ended up not buying anything. One of my pet peeves are the people that don't have anything marked. There was no prices on any of the stuff. If it had been $1, $2 a piece, I probably would have bought a fair amount of it, but there was no prices on any of it all. That's in fact what I was looking for, saying, is there any price on it? But there was not. So we just walked on by because, again, there was nothing that jumped out at me. And I also knew the dealer. So from past experience, I knew his prices were generally more than I could pay to make any money. But this show does have something for everybody. It's held annually. So if you're up in the Rochester area, it's definitely worth coming to. Even got the glasses over here. I did see the Star Wars glasses, which I know can be pretty good. Decided to find a price, and they were $10 a piece. Couldn't quite pull the trigger on them. I'm still old school. I remember when they were like $2, $3 a piece, and retail on them was $10. I think I probably could have made some money paying $10 each on them, but I just don't deal enough in glasses, and I don't think there's enough of a profit margin there. So I passed on by those. More things I passed on by, just buckets of stuff over there. Lots of pins. I didn't even bother looking at them. I basically ran right by those because I don't deal in those. Same thing with these books. A nice little trick that I do is I notice a thing or two that I know the value over what it should be going for, and I see what the prices are that the dealers have on it. And if their prices are high, I just keep walking because something's got to really jump out at me. Now, this was a dealer that I ended up buying a fair amount of stuff at. Now, I don't know a lot about postcards, but they had this marked at $25. Spoiler alert, I ended up buying it. I got it for $20. I figured there were enough postcards in it, and it's a nice enough looking postcard album as well. I got to figure out exactly how I'm going to get rid of it. I don't think I'm going to pull it apart. Most of those are from Texas, San Antonio, Texas, if I recall, is what the scenes are of the postcards. But I figured for $20, I couldn't really go wrong on a nice old postcard album like that. Just nice looking item over there. And ended up buying a few other things from this dealer as well. I think I spent $60-some with that dealer, maybe $80 from that dealer. Did pass on the other album, though, because it didn't really have much of anything of interest in it. And then we're going to head on off to one more dealer in a moment. Wait for it. I swear we do. head off to another dealer where I ended up really cleaning up on stuff because they had a whole bunch of stuff right here. Most of these items were priced at $1 to $2 a piece. And I kind of was looking through them, and all of a sudden I noticed there was a price in pencil up in the right-hand corner. I'm like, yep, I can buy that. Yep, I can buy that. Yep, I can buy that. And so on. And then I said to him, hey, can you give me a little bit better of a deal if I buy a bunch of stuff? And I think I spent something like $60 on $1, $2 items with them. So overall, a couple of dealers really made this bottle show for me. Very glad I went out there. A lot of fun. And we're going to have a video tomorrow up or Thursday. I don't know. One of these days, we're going to have a video up where I sit down and I do the deep dive into all the various items that I bought between the bottle show and the public market. I do know I ended up spending $300 between the two. So it was a very, very good day overall. So hopefully you liked the video, and hopefully you hit the like button, and I'm going to try to give you more haul videos. I did actually invest in a GoPro, so we're going to be using that for future haul videos as well. Yeah, might as well put, I was going to say, for $1, might as well put it in your hands. Why not? So do hit the like button, and I will see you next video. Yeah, not worth getting. Not worth getting. Don't do it. No, don't do it. Put it down. Oh.